All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our first day of the Tantric path in practice. We'll begin today with one of the two stages of preparation. We're recommended to prepare for quite a long time before we move into the Tantric stages of our yoga practice. With that being said, my assumption and my knowledge for many of you is that you have already been practicing some form of yoga asana for a while. And so there already has been some degree of preparation in terms of purification of both body and mind, as well as strengthening of both body and mind. With that being said, it is definitely my firm belief that the preparation never stops. We don't ever say, okay, I'm fully prepared. I no longer need to concern myself with strengthening or purifying and can only, focus on the more spiritual endeavors. I think that is entirely accurate. And so we are going to be interweaving these preparatory stages with the other somewhat more spiritually oriented aspects of our practice throughout. So when we're working with preparation, we are focusing on preparation of all of the different layers of our being. So if you're a little bit newer to Tantric and yogic sort of metaphysics, there's something called the koshas, and the koshas are the 5 layers of our being. And they could sort of be envisioned like the little Russian sort of nesting dolls. But even that is a little bit inaccurate because it suggests that they are in that particular structured format, and that the physical body is always the outermost layer, and that the soul is always the innermost aspect, when in reality they kind of blend and merge and overlap and expand and contract and function sort of outside of the confines of time and space and cause and effect. With that being said, we do have these different aspects of being, and our purification practice is intended to purify all of the different aspects or layers: physical body, breath body or energy body, mental body, so on and so forth. Those 3 in particular, but really even getting down to the layer of soul, which is where our karma is held. So with that being said, there will be some slightly more physically oriented purification techniques, and then some that are quite a bit more subtle and internalizing. So on the physical layer, we're going to be working with 2 specific categories of asana, although we will be incorporating all of the categories in an attempt to move energy throughout the body so that we can kind of churn things up and then essentially send all of that energy through some form of a filter for purification. But the 2 primary categories we'll be working with are twists and forward folds. Okay, so twists are phenomenal for sort of wringing out whatever is contained in our digestive system, whether that is physical or subtle. It gives us an opportunity to concentrate a bit more on the process of digestion, assimilation, and then gleaning the benefits of whatever it is that we have consumed and releasing whatever would be considered the waste product or the toxins. So with that, I'm going to stop talking and let the practice speak for itself. And hopefully these 2 hooligans will settle down in the next minute or 2. We might see them chasing each other back and forth a little bit. Enjoy the added bonus entertainment. I'm sure that they'll chill out in a moment. All right, so go ahead and make your way to your mat if you have not already. And we're going to start in a seated position with a very gentle form of a breath technique known as kapalabhati. And this is just going to start to percolate a little bit some of that energy that might be a little bit stagnant in the space of the belly. You can sit on your knees, you can sit all the way down in a cross-legged position, whatever is comfortable for you and gives you an experience steadiness in your body, as well as start by just softening the gaze, maybe closing the eyes if that's comfortable, and begin to bring awareness more inward. Adjust your posture so that your spine is aligned and there's minimum pressure in the low back, minimal constraints in the space of the belly. Try to soften the belly and invite the breath to drop down into that space. About 3 more breaths here, and then we'll begin to introduce this kapalabhati, which is going to employ a certain degree of force, just enough to send the breath out of the body with some oomph. And then we release that force or that effort to receive the inhale completely effortlessly. We're going to do this very slowly and steadily. About 10 to 15 slow, steady breaths, forceful exhale, effortless inhale. The rest of the body is going to stay still. That force comes from an abrupt contraction in the space of the belly. So whenever you're ready, begin with an exhale and carry on 10 to 15 breaths. Sending the breath out tersely through the nose. One more. Release the technique. Breathe gently into the belly. From wherever you're sitting, make your way onto your hands and your knees. Give yourself a moment just to settle in. Feel free to move in any way that your body is requesting for the next 30 seconds or so. Just another 10 seconds or so to check in. And then come back to some semblance of stillness and a neutral alignment. From here, we'll start to move through cow and cat. As the body inhales, draw the collarbones forward, lift through the crown of the head and the tailbone. As the body exhales, round the spine, gently draw the thighs toward one another, lift up through the pelvic floor, draw the navel to the spine, and tuck the chin. On the next inhale, once again, glide the collarbones forward, lift the crown and tail. Exhale, round the spine. Hug the thighs together, scoop the belly up and in, lifting the pelvic floor, tucking the chin. Inhale, draw the collarbones forward, lifting crown and tail. Exhale, round the spine, scoop up through the belly, press the earth down and away from you. Once more. On the next inhale, come back to a nice neutral alignment to the spine. And on exhale, start to take just the pelvis around in two circles. Right, so again, contributing to this churning of the energy in the space of the belly as well as in the space of the pelvis, which is where we hold on to a lot of stagnant or even toxic energy in the form of food or what once was food, as well as memories, impressions, stories, beliefs. So we're just trying to loosen all of that up a little bit so that it's more easily released. When you're ready, just switch directions. You can relax a bit through the neck and shoulders, and if they're engaging in a little bit of movement as well, that's fine. You can even feel quite nice. Take one more of these rotations and then come back through to the center. Give yourself a moment to reclaim that neutral alignment and enjoy the breath. Now let's start to move through downward facing dog and tuck the toes under. Inhale here to press down through the hands and wrap the triceps back. On the exhale, float the hips up and back, moving slowly, moving steadily. And then inhale and lower the knees back down. We're going to very lightly make contact with here. And on the exhale, again, float the hips up and back. Couple more times. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, float the hips up and back, lengthening through the spine. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees in order to extend through the spine. Once more, inhale, let the knees float down. And exhale, float the hips back up. Stay in your downward facing dog for a few breaths. Necklace is going to get the travel. If you want to, you can pedal the feet a few times, loosening up a bit more through the hips, through the pelvis, maybe also through the belly. And go to your bed. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Just another breath or two. And then find some holiness in that downward facing dog with awareness in the neck. But on the next inhale, let's roll forward to a plank position. And on the exhale, you could lower the knees first, draw the sternum and collarbones through, bend the elbows straight back and come all the way down. Create a little extra space around the belly, press the feet down, especially thinking about the pinky toenails coming into contact with the mat. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the triceps in. On the next inhale, as you press down through the feet, Draw the sternum and collarbones forward, lift through the back of the head. And on the exhale, gently release, and you can bring your right cheek to the mat. Inhale again, draw forward, coming into baby cobra. Try not to use the hands too much. And on the exhale, release and bring your left cheek. Inhale again, coming into cobra, maybe lifting the hands. Exhale, release, right cheek down. Inhale, baby cobra. Again, maybe lifting the hands. Exhale, release, left cheek down. From here, let's just bring the forehead back down to the mat. Take another full breath here. And then inhale back up to the hands and knees. Exhale, round the spine, shift the hips back to child. So in your child's pose, give yourself a moment to again just wiggle, loosen up. Notice where you are holding on to tension. Often wherever we're holding tension, toxins are gathering as well. But from here, on an inhale, let's walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. And on the exhale, soften the body and stretch into the right side. Use the breath to create a little bit more space through the right side of the waist, right side of the rib cage. One more breath here, maybe opening up a tiny bit more. And then we'll take an inhale to bring the hands back through to the center. Exhale, belt the spine down the middle, maybe finding a little bit more length. And then inhale, walk the hands over to the right. Exhale, soften. Use the breath once again to create a little more space through the left side body. One more breath here. And then inhale, bring the hands back through to the center. Exhale, lengthen down the middle. Enjoy one more full breath here. And then inhale back to the hands and knees, curl the toes under again, and exhale to downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, give yourself a moment just to check a line. Try to spread the fingers as wide as you can. Press down through the index fingers and thumbs. Wrap the triceps down toward the thigh. Push into the hands. Float the hips up and back. Bend the knees for a moment and try to lift the pelvis up out of the waistline, creating maximum extension in the spine. And then if it feels natural and comfortable, the heels can reach down toward the floor and maybe press the inner thighs toward the wall behind you. One more breath. And on the next inhale, let's lift the heels, soften the knees, lift up through the hips as you look toward the hands, and then exhale, step back to the top. The feet are about hip distance apart, basically parallel to one another. Knees can be quite soft. Hands can either be next to the feet or on the ankles or the shins. We're going to lift in and out of a half fold a few times. Press down through the feet, try to spin your inner thighs again toward the wall back behind you. Inhale to draw the collarbones and sternum forward, create a little extra space through the neck and the spine. And on the exhale, gently release forward. Scoop the belly up and then lift through the pelvis. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, scoop the belly up and in. This is a lot less about the hamstrings and more about what's happening in the space of the belly. Inhale, lift halfway. So if you need to bend the knees to create that squeezing effect in the belly, please do. Exhale, fold. Just once more. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. We're going to stay in the fold. Bend the knees if you need to try to bring the torso and thighs into contact with one another. Maybe wrap the hands around the back sides of the legs. One more breath here. And then slide the hands up the backs of the legs. Press down through the feet. Lengthen through the back body and inhale to rise. Exhale and find it down. Let's just stand and notice for a moment. Let me give this little bit in a second to change. On the next inhale, tilt the arms forward to come up. Then on the exhale, with a nice long flat back, come into a forward fold. Again, spin the inner thighs back behind you. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale back. So again, just feel this energy moving through the body. Inhale to hinge forward. Pick the hips up slightly and feel a little bit of heat gathering in the belly. Exhale from both. Press down through the toenails. Inhale, lengthen and stretch through the body, coming into cobra. Exhale to release. Breathe it all together. Inhale, lift up to the hands and the knees. Exhale and come back to child's pose. Again, try to squeeze the thigh, scoop the belly up and in. Inhale, back to the hands and knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing. Enjoy an extra breath and down dog. Inhale, lift the heels and the hips, look toward the hands. Exhale, step right into the top of the neck. Press down through the feet, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Scooping up through the belly. Inhale, glue the arms to the ears, rise with the flat back, reach for the sky. Exhale, arms come down by your side. Okay, so that's a variation of a sun salutation that we're going to repeat a few times. Again, in the interest of getting things moving. Inhale, sweep the arms forward to come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Inhale, hinge forward. A little bit of a hike in the belly. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, again, release. Squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, lift to the hands and the knees. Exhale, squeeze the thighs to child's pose. Keep the belly up and in. Inhale, back to the hands and the knees. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. An extra breath and down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips, look toward the hands. Exhale, step to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Squeeze the belly up and in, lift through the pelvic floor. Inhale, glue the arms to the ears, rise and stand. Exhale, arms by your side. Enjoy a breath here. And let's just do that one more time. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Inhale, hinge forward, gather some warmth in the belly. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale, find cobra. Exhale, release. Squeeze the thighs together, lift the pelvic floor. Inhale to hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose, again contracting at the belly. Inhale, return to the hands and knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Enjoy an extra breath here. Inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, and look toward the hands. Exhale, step. Inhale, lift half. And exhale. We're going to stay in this hold for a moment. Again, try to have the feet about hip distance apart, parallel to one another. Bend the right knee. And start to stretch into your left hip, maybe hamstring, probably inner and outer thigh on the left leg. Try to rest the belly or the ribs against the top of the right thigh. Give yourself another moment here, and we're going to come into a simple twist. Right hand will come underneath your face. And then we'll start to rotate just the rib cage open to the left side. You can place your hand on the sacrum if you want to, on the small of the back, and continue to find the length in the spine. If it's comfortable and this rotation is happening fairly naturally in your rib cage, maybe extend the left arm up, or if that's not nice in your body, you can just drape the arm behind your back. Push down through the right hand, try to reach away from the earth as the sternum rolls up toward the sky. Just one more breath here. Notice what's happening in the belly. And then inhale, start to release that rotation. On the exhale, bring the legs and the spine back to neutral in that fold and enjoy a breath here. Now we're going to reverse that, so bending the left knee fairly deeply, stretching into the right hip and thigh. Give yourself a moment to just be here. Make sure you feel steady. And then place the left hand down, basically underneath your face. If this is too far away from you on a block, it would be really helpful. And then start to rotate the rib cage to the right. Notice what's happening in this region of the belly. Right hand can rest on your sacrum, or if it feels natural and manageable, you can extend the arm. Another option is to gently drape the arm behind the back. Stay with this for a few breaths, opening up through the hip, but then also bringing even more awareness into the belly as the epicenter of that twist. On the next inhale, start to release. And on the exhale, come back into a neutral forward fold. It might feel good to just wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side. Again, just getting movement, release. And then root down through the feet, and on the next inhale, arms glued to the ears. Let's rise. Stand. Exhale, bring the arms down by your side. Give yourself a moment just to feel into the impact. Starting to work now with the next round or variation of our sun salutation. Feet about hip distance apart, more or less parallel. Your bone structure is going to determine how parallel is parallel. Bend the knees for a moment just to find this posture. Bend the knees and then bring your weight back toward your heels. So you're pulling your shins back so that maybe you can look down and see your toes sticking out just beyond your knees. Draw the navel up and in without squeezing too much, but just a little bit of activation. From here, try to lift through the sternum and the collarbones so there's extension in the spine rather than rounding forward. Try to press the heels away from each other without them actually moving, which is creating, once again, that sense of internal rotation through the thighs, which will contribute to that lift through the pelvic floor. Okay. Arms are going to come up either alongside the ears, or if the shoulders are tight, the elbows can bend somewhat so that there's a little bit more ease in the upper back. Now let's come out of that posture and we'll come in and out dynamically a few times. Inhale, bend the knees, pull the hips back, pull the arms up. Exhale, straighten the legs and draw the arms down. Squeeze through the thighs, lift through the pelvic floor. Inhale, come back into the posture. Exhale, come back out. Mindful movement in and out. A little bit of resistance. Inhale back into the posture. Exhale, release. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. Let's come back in now for a moment. On the exhale, just think a little bit more deeply. Inhale, create a little bit more length in the spine, pulling the sits bones back and your wrists and the crown up. On the exhale, let your left arm sweep down and back. Hug your right hip back and face so that the knees, the hips, and the toes continue to stay level with one another. And then let the arms start to kind of rest toward parallel with the earth. A little bit of a twist, feel what's happening in the belly. Inhale and sweep that left arm forward, both arms lift. Exhale, take it to the other side, right arm down the back. Left hip hugging back. Staying steady through the lower body so the twist can happen through the belly and torso. Rib cage rotating. Once more, inhale, sweep the right arm forward, come up. Exhale, twist to the left, hug the right hip back. Navel to spine, lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, sweep that left arm forward, come up. Exhale, right arm down and back. Hug the left hip back. Feel what's happening in the belly and pelvis. Inhale, sweep the right arm forward. Exhale, release into a forward fold, legs feet go towards straight. Inhale, back leg. Exhale, soften the knees and slide your left foot back for warrior one. So we're going to roll the left heel down, right toes pointing forward. Before we stand, try to squeeze that back leg as close to straight as it will go. Root down through the heel. Hug your right hip back and your left hip forward. Feel the inner thigh rotating toward one another. From here, nice flat back. We're going to rise up to our warrior. Arms are going to come alongside the ears. On the exhale, let's straighten the front leg and bring the arms down and scoop the arms gently behind the back. Inhale, rebend the knee, sweep the arms forward to come up. A little bit more lift and spaciousness through the front leg. Exhale, straighten the leg and sweep the arms back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now keep the right arm behind the back. Inhale, sweep the left arm forward as the right knee bends. On the exhale, try to draw the tailbone a little further down, so minimizing the curvature in the lower back. See if it's possible to bend the right knee a little bit more generously. Lift up through the left wrist. Create space to the left side body. And breathe. Lifting through the pelvic floor, especially on exhale, hugging the thighs together. Inhaling space into the heart space. Exhale, contracting through the navel. Just one more in breath. On the exhale, let the left arm come forward, bring the hand down. If possible, try to keep your left heel on the ground. If that's really uncomfortable, then let the heel lift. Create a little bit more length to the left side body. And then on the exhale, begin to rotate gently to the right. So firming the thighs. On exhale, drawing the navel up and in, and drawing the pelvic floor up and in. Again, if it feels good in your body, maybe extending the right arm. Stay with the breath. Do your best to maintain steadiness and ease. On the next inhale, extend the right arm alongside the right ear, root down through the left heel. And on the exhale, release the hands, step back. Inhale, hinge forward again. Hike through the belly just a bit. Exhale, release to the earth. Inhale to cobra. Stretch the belly. Exhale, release, squeeze the thighs together. Inhale, lift to the hands and the knees. Tuck the toes. Exhale directly to downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment here. Root down through the right foot, and on the next inhale, float your left leg up and back. Try to keep the thighs parallel, rolling the inseam of the leg up and the left pinky toe down. Push into the hands, see if the heel can then lift a little bit higher up and back. Take one more breath here. On the exhale, gently draw your left thigh in towards your belly. Scoop the belly up and in. Inhale, extend the leg up and back. Exhale, draw it in. Just once more, inhale. And this time on the exhale, we're going to look forward. I like to come up on my fingertips to give myself a little more room to work with, and lunge the left foot through. Roll your right heel down. Stay low for a moment. Draw your left hip back in space. Spin your right inner thigh toward the wall behind you. Try to square the hips and the pelvis as much as possible in this very asymmetrical posture. Once you feel stable and there's a sense of ease available, with a flat back rise, try to draw the tailbone down to help yourself lift. Arms will come up alongside the ears. On the exhale, straighten the leg, sweep the arms down, and then sweep them gently behind your back. Good. This is familiar. Inhale, bend the arms up. Exhale, straighten the leg and close. 2 more times. And then keep the left hand behind you. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, drop the shoulder blades. Keep hugging the inner thighs together. Try to draw the tailbone a little further down. Maybe bend a bit more generously into the front knee. And then keep lifting through the right wrist and the crown of the head. Breathing into the heart space with inhale. And squeezing gently on the exhale in the space of the belly and lift the pelvic floor. One more in breath. On the exhale, bring the right hand down. Try to keep your right heel on the ground if possible. Inhale, find a little bit more length in the spine. And on the exhale, rotate the torso to the left. Good. Really try to lengthen both the right and the left side of the body. Left hand can stay where it is, or maybe if it's comfortable, if it feels like it's actually helpful, the left arm can extend. Good. Pay attention to what's happening in the space of the belly in particular. Smooth, steady breath. continuing to cultivate steadiness and ease. Inhale and extend the left arm alongside the ear. Exhale, release down. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Press down through both feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Stay in the fold for just a moment longer. Maybe taking a hold of the back side of the legs or feet. Scooping the belly up and bring a bit more. And potentially deepening that fold. Knees can bend. This is not about the hamstrings. Preparing to stand with the arms to the ears. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Good. Shift the hips back. Bring the arms out in front of you and have the palms facing either together or up. Draw the shoulder blades down. Remember that kapalabhati that we did at the very beginning. We're just going to bring that back 5 rounds, slow and steady. Forceful exhale out through the nostrils when you're ready. But on that final exhale, think a little more deeply. And then inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Lift the collarbones, baby back bend. Exhale, straighten up, release the arms down by your sides. Just be here for a moment. Nice and light, moving through the other side, slight variation in the sequence. Inhale, come back into your chair. Remember to squeeze your hips back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, soften the knees, slide the right leg back. First, warrior 1. Inhale, glue the arms to the ears, rise up. Exhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms down, sweep the left arm behind the back. And you might want to shorten your stance a little bit. I like to, or Parsvattanasana pyramid pose. Left hand is going to stay back, which is helping the pelvis, the rib cage, and the shoulder, remember, to stay open. Inhale to glue the arm to the ear, right arm. Exhale, reach forward through the collarbone. Try to keep the back nice and long as you fold forward. Once you hit that point where you can't keep the back flat anymore, then give yourself permission to soften and fold. Press down through both feet. Inhale, arm glued to the ear, stand up again. Exhale, again, reach out, creating a length as you fold. Root down through your right leg. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold once more. Good. This time, let's keep the right hand down on the ground or on the block next to your left foot. Inhale, lift halfway. Try to square the hips apart. And on the exhale, let's rotate just the rib cage to the left. So same concept here, trying to keep both right and left side body long and spacious. Find relatively aligned so we can maximize that twist. Left hand can stay where it is, or if it makes sense in your body, maybe the arm extends. Notice what's happening in the belly. Maybe take your gaze up towards your thumb if that feels supported. 3 breaths. Notice what's happening in the pelvis. And on the next inhale, extend the left arm alongside the left ear. Exhale, look down, release the hand down, step back to plank. Inhale, push forward, hike through the hips slightly. Exhale, release here. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing. Enjoy a breath here. Root down through the left foot. Inhale, float the right leg up and back. Exhale, try to square the hips, rolling the pinky toe toward the earth. One more inhale, maybe a little bit more length in the spine, resulting in a lift through the heel. Exhale, draw the right knee in toward the belly. Scoop up through the belly. Lift through the pelvic floor. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, draw it in. Once more. Inhale, extend the leg. On the exhale, look forward, maybe lift up onto your fingertips, and step the foot through for warrior one. Rolling the left heel down, squaring the hips. Inhale to rise. On the exhale, straighten the front leg, bring the right arm behind the back. Square the hips a bit more. Inhale, lift up through the left wrist. Maybe shorten your spin. Exhale, lengthen as you go. Soften over the front leg when you want to / need to. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise. Exhale, fold once more. Drawing the right hip back, reaching the left wrist forward. Set the hand down. On the next inhale, just lift halfway. And on the exhale, reaffirming stability through the legs. Start to rotate the torso, rib cage to the right. Right hand can stay where it is. Or again, if it makes sense in your body, you can extend the arm up. If it works as additional leverage to help you cultivate a little bit more finesse in that twist, concentrating the twist at the navel center. Smooth, steady breath. Inhale, extend the right arm alongside the right ear. Exhale, release the hand, soften both knees and step the left foot up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Stay in the fold for a moment. Maybe wrap the arms around the back side of the legs. Maybe just take a hold of your own elbows. Be here with the breath. Release whatever grip you might have. Bring the hands to the backs of the thighs, press down through the feet. Inhale, rise with a flat back. Exhale, relax, find Tadasana. Notice the impact. bring the feet just a little bit wider than hip distance, toes angled open, moving very softly through the variation of agni sara. Bend the knees, rest the hands on the thighs, and let the arms lock so that you're using the arms as a way of creating a little bit more space in the spine. With the arms locked, they scoop the shoulder girdle up toward the chin, and then gravity draws the weight of the pelvis down. So we naturally decompress through the spine here. Take a moment just to breathe into the belly. Once again, find some really subtle little pelvic rotations, almost like you're trying to draw a circle with the tailbone somewhere back behind you. Keep the jaw soft. Notice if there's a tendency to clench, particularly when you're working with hips. It's just a protective measure. Acknowledge it, determine whether or not you think it's needed in this instance, and if it isn't, then you can let it. And then switch, moving gently with curiosity. Come back. Soften, settle. Very similar to cow and cat, how we began the physical portion of practice. On the inhale, scoot the collarbones and sternum forward, gently lift the crown and tail. And on the exhale, start the feet, drawing the feet in toward one another, lifting through the soles of the feet, drawing upward through the pelvic floor, scooping through the belly, and very delicately tucking the chin. Inhale to release all that, soften the belly, invite the breath in. Exhale again, come toward that contraction, everything drawing in toward the navel center for a gentle, warm squeeze. Inhale, release, soften, receive the breath. 3 more times, exhale. A little hug at the belly. Inhale, receive the breath, soften the belly. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Concentration at the navel. On the next exhale, just relax your moment. And then inhale, come back to Tadasana. Take your time. On the exhale, try to find the most effortless alignment possible and just breathe into that experience of effortlessness. Very good. From here, go ahead and take a seat, nice and simple, and then come all the way onto your back. We're going to keep this pretty simple and succinct. If you are only practicing asana today, after I direct you into Shavasana, or invite you to Shavasana, I should say, you're welcome to stay even after the recording ends. If you will be transitioning into the rise meditation with pranayama, then once this recording ends, you can just switch to the other link. No need to rush, we'll ease into that. So move slowly and take your time. Final twist for detoxification and integration. Shift your hips a little bit off to the left. Extend your right leg straight, toes pointing up. Place the sole of the left foot on top of the right thigh. Arms can come out to the side. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, rotate the pelvis to the right. The legs will go. Linger here a moment. Maybe shift your right shoulder blade an inch or two further to the right, and maybe bring your left ear towards the ground. Just breathe. Once again, awareness in the belly, but now also up and down the length of the spine. Look up again. Inhale to bring the left knee up. On the exhale, set both feet on the ground and just shift the pelvis back into neutral. Give yourself a moment here. Shift the pelvis to the right, extend your left leg, toes pointing up. Sole of the right foot comes on top of the left thigh, arms to the side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, rotate the pelvis to the left. Legs will go along to the right. Possibly shift your left shoulder blade an inch or two further to the left, and maybe bring your right ear to the ground. Awareness in the belly, as well as up and down the length of the spine. Bring the head back up to the center. On the inhale, lift the right knee. On the exhale, set both feet down, bring the pelvis back into neutral. Once again, give yourself a moment. Let's hug both thighs in Apanasana. Releasing that constriction in the belly and the pelvic floor. Enjoy another breath here. And then stretch the legs out for Shavasana. Take your time finding your position of rest. Again, if you are only practicing asana today, please linger for another 10 minutes or so, and then ease your way out when the time comes. If you are planning to join us for the rise, pranayama and meditation, take your time, at least 5 minutes here as I'm getting everyone set up in the next room, and then transition over. We will most likely be candle gazing by the time we get there, so no rush. Either way, thank you very much for practicing. Love to you. See you soon, one way or